What's up, everybody? Blood Moon Bobby here, and look what we have, the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm definitely excited to unbox Nintendo's latest console. It's pretty expensive. You could probably see here that we got the Mario Kart World bundle. That was 500 US dollars, definitely making it the most expensive Nintendo console that I've ever purchased. But here to unbox it. Again, as I said before, I'm really surprised that we were able to pre-order the Mario Kart World version, especially because our local GameStop didn't have that many, but we were one of the lucky ones, I guess. Here we go, unboxing the systems. I noticed that there was some tape on the bottom, so I'll just cut that off here. Get this ready for you. There we go, yeah. I thought it was going to be tricky, but we got it. So we open this flap here. Let's see, I definitely see the console itself, but we'll come back to that in a second. So here we got the Joy-Con 2, the, new Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch 2. This time, instead of using, the rail system from the original Switch, they now attach magnetically. They sort of remind me of the magnets that you would see on something like a MacBook, the charger. So we'll get these out here. Let's see, do these feel different off the bat? Well, they do feel, at least to me, a bit taller, a little not as wide as the original Switch's Joy-Cons. So you could see here, yeah, definitely see what I mean. Let me see off the bat. Oh, I like how the joysticks feel off the bat. I like how there's more of a ridge to them. I think they feel better. Oh, and also the same with the triggers, too. I'm not sure. They still feel like digital triggers. If they're not, please feel free to correct me in the comments. But, yeah, I do feel like, like how there's more of a kind of slope shape to the triggers this time. I remember I actually rewatched the video, the Nintendo Direct that came out when more details of the Switch 2 were revealed, and I remember they said that the SL and SR buttons are now wider. They are. I do, like them more than what they were like on the original Switch, but this is still probably not the most optimal way to play. I think these still come with the straps that we'll see in a second, so nice seeing these Joy-Con return. I am going to put the console aside here. Here it is. It does feel bigger. I know it's larger with a 7.9-inch screen, so yeah, at least compared to the original Switch. So what else have we got here? I see my code for Mario Kart World. Sorry, you cannot have this code because I'm going to be streaming this game. So I'll put this aside too. What else we got? What else we got? We got, just the usual, health and safety information. Just letting you know, don't eat your Nintendo Switch 2. We have got the HDMI cable. I know that one of the big differences between this and the original Switch is that the Switch 2 can now output games in 4K, connected to a 4K TV. So that is really nice. And as I mentioned before, here are the straps for the Joy-Con 2. Yeah, so we'll take this out. What else do we have here? Oh, yes, the dock, which, as I previously said, you're going to need this to connect to your TV. And like I said, the Switch 2 is able to output games in both 4K HDR at up to 120 frames per second. Another big difference, might be a little tricky to see on camera here, but that there is now a fan in the dock for the Switch 2, which makes sense. If it's able to output games in 4K, it's really going to need a fan to keep the hardware really cool. And I'm also hoping that the Switch 2 won't have those problems with, bending and flexing that even my OG Switch had. So I'm hoping that the hardware in the Switch 2 is much more power efficient so that those problems don't get, come back. So now we got the grip for the Joy-Con 2. I will see if I could put this in. It's going to be kind of awkward to do this on camera here. They just kind of magnetically attach. Let me see if I could do this on camera. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's really cool. And we'll do the same with the right Joy-Con. It just kind of snaps in. Yeah, this is my first time with this, so excuse my awkwardness. There we go. Yeah, cool. So yeah, it's kind of like a MacBook charger. And I'm also hoping, my sister thinks the reason why the original Switch, some people had issues with things like, issues with the Joy-Con sticks. I forgot what the term was for malfunctioning Joy-Cons, but she thinks one of the issues was because the original Switch, you slid in the Joy-Cons instead of magnetically attaching them. She thinks that a problem with the original Switch is that it caused, them to kind of like bend and flex around a little. So because they magnetically attach, and I can't really flex the Joy-Cons quite as much, hopefully the Switch 2 won't have those issues. Okay. And here we go. This is the AC adapter. Looks like, it's nice that it looks like the plug for the AC adapter for the Switch 2 is smaller than the one for the original Switch. And what's nice about the smaller size, I think, not only, does it make it easier to plug into your wall or your power strip, your surge protector, but I also like how this time the wire is detachable. If you remember with the OG Switch, its AC adapter, the cable was kind of built in. You couldn't, detach it like you could on a cell phone charger. With this, if your cable breaks, the nice thing is that, you could just take, another, USB-C cable. I'm sure Nintendo would say preferably one of ours and just plug it straight in. And speaking of which, I'll plug that in for you to demonstrate that. Okay, so yeah, you could see what I mean. So yeah, you got yourself, kind of would prefer a longer USB-C cable, but yeah, you could see right here. I'm not really sure if it really demonstrates on the video. So yeah, just plug one of the ends here and yeah, there you go. Plug this in to charge your Switch, or if you're using the dock. Now let's get to the good stuff. We are looking at the Switch 2 itself. Yeah, wow, I could definitely tell it's larger than the original Switch and even the OLED Switch. So we'll go ahead and see. Let's could I do this again? Let's see. So we take the left one here and you kind of slide it in at an angle. There you go. Ooh, nice. Yeah, this is as nice as the Switch 2 is going to look, because, yeah, I got to get a screen protector for this. Yeah, that was probably one thing I should have purchased. But, yeah, there we go. The Switch 2 looking real nice. I'll turn it on for you guys. Let's see. There should be enough, juice at least just to start it up so I could see the Nintendo logo there. And already I can hear some funky music playing. And it's probably telling me to set up the console. Yeah, it's asking, which, for me to set up, language and that kind of stuff. I'll have some, shots in the video comparing the size of the Switch 2 to both the original Switch and the OLED Switch. I think size-wise, the original Switch and the OLED Switch they're similar sizes. It's just that the OLED Switch has a larger screen. But I could definitely tell off the bat that the Switch 2 physically is larger than both the original Switch and the OLED Switch. And I don't have a Switch Lite, but I'm sure this is still larger than the Switch Lite. So yeah, this has been my unboxing of the Switch 2. Again, really excited. I know, really expensive console, especially by Nintendo standards. I'm thinking of doing tutorial videos in the future. I know you guys really like when I do tutorial videos of the original Switch, and I'm hoping with the Switch 2, I'm hoping to find some things that I could show you guys in terms of, better using Nintendo's new consoles. And I'm also really excited to stream Mario Kart World with my sister and having a really good time and showing you guys. So yeah, this has been my unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For more on the Switch 2 and all of Nintendo, follow Blood Moon Bobby. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to get notified when I release my latest videos. Follow me at Blood Moon Bobby on your favorite social media platforms. Thanks for watching.